Let's see, some shorts. This one, I was thinking about trading out on Monday, but it's just a little bit on the thin side. I really wanted that 556 push, but it didn't materialize. So trade here. What had some short? This is a very disputed stock. Some people are usually bullish, some people are usually bearish. I lean on the bearish side. I think there's too much. There's way too much hype there. There's like a 99% probability it's not gonna be in the next iPhone. Just all the evidence points against it. But it's holding up. A lot of retail people, they just refuse to see the facts. But yeah, I don't know when the next iPhone announcement is, but it may be a great short when that happens. REN, I'm just tracking. I had a huge move. Has a little bit of a range here in the 60 minute. If it breaks down here, could have a couple of dollar downside. This is more of a swing trade, kind of a short. I'm just tracking it. If it looks great on the intraday chart, I may do it. But if it like shows relative weakness or something, that's always a good sign. But so far, past 6 months, it's only been showing relative strength. I had a good short. Damn, there's so much text. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. I had a good short, and when it broke below this range here, I had a very good short on it and went down like 25% in 3, 4, 5 days. So I'm thinking, same thing may happen here. It's not going to go up for all eternity. It is going to pull back. But it's still a little bit dangerous. I think long term, I think this thing has more upside. Fundamentally, they have some good stuff going for them. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing go up another 10, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever. But short term, I think this may pull back at least a 50-day or something. Nvidia, I was actually shorted for a couple of weeks. I shorted it here on opening range lows, or actually not opening range lows on this day. Shorted somewhere here. I had a really good short on it, and I actually covered it yesterday because it's just going sideways since. So I'm gonna remove this one. Tesla, I'm tracking it. Hopefully it goes to like 260 or something, but this is straight up. So it's gonna pull back eventually. Like same thing in February, March, it went straight up. I had some really good shorts on it. I was early a couple of times, so I took some losses on the way up, but then size 10 when they finally started going down, so that was great. So I'm looking for something similar here, maybe a couple more days upside and then a pullback like the 20-day, the yellow line here. INFI, no, it closed kind of weak. I'm not going to watch this one. CNX again, I lost on it Friday. I did not trade it Monday. I was thinking about it, but it just went sideways in a range. There was nothing there. But now it's starting to look really interesting. I would preferably it goes to like 15 or something today, but we'll see. I'm going to look at something like opening range lows or green to red or lower highs or late day fades, something like that. I'm not going to short randomly into strength. I want to see some kind of weakness first. Veil also needs to go up another day. It's probably not ready yet. It's starting to get extended. Huge move from the lows here, just going higher. It will have a snapback eventually, especially if it goes to like 11.50 or 12 or something like that. You will have a snapback. Shaynog, I've been bearish on this thing for a few days. It trades on gold. So if gold goes down, that thing will go down. Gold is a little bit extended. So Shaynog, it looks like a great breakout chart from this little flag formation, but this thing doesn't trade like a stock, so I don't know. I'd rather short it. I'm not gonna pick any tops on it. I'm not gonna trade it on the long side. This thing is programmed to go to zero. So there's all these triple ETFs. As you can see, there's like reverse split because it just keeps going down. This thing was $200, and once it gets down to like sub 5 or something like that, they're gonna do a reverse split again. GLBS, now this is an interesting one. They're trying to do an offering, but it's not going through for some reason. I don't know the details, but basically there's a lot of people have been shorting it the past week because there's an offering coming. They're trying to do an offering, so and they're gonna get a bad price on it because there's really no demand for the offering. No one wants to buy this piece of shit, even not at a discount. So there's actually a couple of trades in this one. One is on the long side. So you can see this 12 area has been an area where it has been rejected. So if it starts breaking this with volume, especially later in the day, like let's say if it goes sideways all day on Tuesday, it starts breaking out on high volume, this thing have a big run into the close. Nothing I would hold overnight. And it could also be a short intraday. I'll see about it. It had a 300% move from the lows, so it's both a long and a short. The short I would hold overnight, especially if it closes very weak. That's something I would hold overnight. NAK, now this is really starting to set up nicely. So the story here is basically, as you can see, this thing was at $22 back in 2011, and now then it got back down to 25 cents, actually 20 cents, and now it's at, actually it was at 360. 357 in after hours on Monday. So this thing can keep going, okay? If there's something I've learned from shorting momentum stocks is don't be too early. This thing needs to go to, this thing can go to $4 or $5 in a straight line. So the short here, I'm probably not gonna short it on today. So ideal scenario would be if it goes up all day, closes strong, and then has some more follow through on Wednesday. That would be something that I will be very interested in. But right now, just tracking it, I may do it small size because, I'm always affected by fear of missing out. So I'll try to do it like, 10th of my normal size or something, or 20% of my normal size, just to be in it, just to feel like if it goes down without going to $4 or $5 first, I'll still participate a little bit. But again, this is, if it goes like 5 or something, I'll be in this thing huge size. If it goes up today and then on Wednesday, I will have no problem shorting 50, even 100,000 shares of this thing. Try to catch like a 50-cent move on the downside or something like that, or even a $1 move on the downside. Actually, if it goes to like 4 or 5, probably the move down will probably be $1 in a day or two. But we'll see. This is something again set up and be a huge trade. OWCP is, it had a big run, faded, and now it's been bouncy for 2 days. I'm thinking if this thing can go green to red, may fade back to sub 50 cents or something like that. In that case, this will be a dead cat bounce, but it can also keep going. But again, I'm looking for weakness. Strong open and then just fizzle off. That's something I would be interested in. MYHI, I really want 120s, 130s first. It really needs to go up another day, I think. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been on this one since Thursday or Friday on the short side. I traded it on a Monday. On Friday, I had a really good trade on it. And I traded it again on Monday. I had another really good trade on it. I traded the opening range lows just before it went red. And yeah, these were the only 3 trades I